Good afternoon, fellow podcast watching people. I am your host today, Kelly Perkins, with the farm for the latest episode of Flip the Scrip. And we have our amazing co-hosts. There you go.
We made it. We're back.
David and Fang.
Aww.
How are you guys today?
It's good to be back. Has it been 2 weeks?
It has been 2 weeks.
About 2 weeks, yeah.
Yeah, but
Time
we're
is
on
flying.
episode 4 now. So
Yes.
we're like
That's crazy.
syndicated,
We're
right?
vets.
Full-fledged show.
We're professionals.
And I still don't know how you evaporate from the top of the barn to the bottom of the barn. We're 4 episodes in, I still don't know how you do that.
Kelly magic.
Oh my God, we
Oh
both
my
did
God.
the same thing.
You guys are
Just
hilarious.
I'm so happy to be. You two are my favorites. I am so happy to be back.
Aw.
Oh,
I look
yeah, I'm happy
forward
to
to
be back
this.
too. Yeah.
Our little farm. It's so cute. Got the goats and the animals, the pig, the horse.
Sheep.
I love it here.
It should be known I haven't fed any of these animals, so
Uh-oh.
hopefully you guys have, because I've not been keeping up.
We're going to have
on
less
normal farm
animals
stuff.
soon.
Yeah, I don't know how to farm. I don't know why I'm here.
They just eat hay, right?
I guess, yeah.
Nice.
Apparently not. Look at all this hay that we have.
So, are we ready for our first segment this week? We like have a real show now. We have segments. We work on this off screen.
We have
So proud
bits.
of us.
We rehearse.
Well, no.
Always.
Oh.
We don't do. So, we're ready for our first bit?
Yes, let's
Okay.
do it.
In the news. This was on me. I had to find something cool to talk about in the news. And what I found was something absolutely ridiculous. This is,
Yes.
yeah, I thought you're going to like this, Kelly. This is a product.
Wait a minute.
Let me zoom in so you can see this a little bit better.
Yes.
It's this little head-shaped box device. And when you're video conferencing, it puts your head in there.
What?
And
What?
it does eye tracking, so when you look around, it looks at whoever you're looking at.
I think the best part is the lady in the background going like, classic Greg. Him and that robot head of his. What?
This is a real product. I think it's called, oh shoot, I forgot what it's called. It's called like WeHead or something.
Oh, God.
Right.
If that is the name, that needs to change yesterday.
It's something like WeHead. It really is. And it's a real product and they're serious about it. It's not a joke. They're selling it. They want us to I'm not meeting like this. And I'm not against, looking silly with my purple hair, but I am not putting my head in that box.
But wait,
How much is something like that cost?
I didn't do the full research. I found this clip and I was done.
But now I wonder if you compound that with the eye tracking thing that you found, was it last week, the last show?
Yes, the eye
where it
contact
tracks your
thing.
pupils or whatever.
Oh my
So makes it even more terrible.
This actually does use eye tracking software. If you watch some video gamers on Twitch, they'll do eye tracking. What they do is there's a little dot on the screen that shows where they're looking. So as they're playing the game, you can
wow.
see what they're looking at. This uses the same technology and it sees what person you're looking at and then moves the camera.
I'm just glad that everyone in that meeting is like on board and not freaking out right now.
Yeah,
They get it.
yeah,
It's
they're
just
all,
Greg
they're
doing
all
Greg
into it.
stuff.
It was a longer
Yeah.
video, but I just took this clip.
I love it.
I think we broke Kelly.
Stop. I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
Wow. All right. That is something.
The choice to not make it like face shaped is the boldest move of all, I think. They made it like a big cartoon, like a black letter I.
Yeah, why didn't they just make it face shaped? Why is it? Yeah.
Going through all that work and you made it. I don't even know what it looks like a cartoon helmet.
But maybe like 10 years from now, it'll be really, really good. And we'll say, oh, we used to laugh at it when it was, remember when it was
That's
first
true.
new and it was all crazy.
We all used to
That's-
give, we had a bunch of junk, but look at them now.
That is
Changing the game.
Wild. I
Alright.
really hope that they're at Infocom.
Oh my God. If they are, we have to put our heads in these boxes.
Oh, good job, David.
Thank you.
I love it.
Ready for our I almost want to stay here. It's so funny. We should move on. Ready for our next segment?
Yeah, I'll get myself here.
Are you sure? You're ready? Because this is our first ever edition of my new favorite segment, Hang with Fang.
Boy.
Hang with Fang.
Hang with Fang. Wow. Look at me go. And what is David just...
There we go.
It's our Fang glider.
Is David at the end of this pole holding the camera?
I decided I don't need to be in every scene.
Well, that's not true.
Sometimes with me, less is more.
See, that's what they all say. We'll miss you up here. Hopefully we'll land safely.
Look at your arms. Look at my arm.
David, thank you for picking this one because I look jacked in this picture, and this is just not the case. So we should just keep it on this for the entire show.
This is your new Tinder pick.
Yeah, you're damn right it is. I have not been working this hard. My dates will be very disappointed.
Oh God.
So I'm here to tell a pharmacist story, right? Is that
yes.
Is that why we're up here in this hang glider?
Yes, pharmacist story in our Fang glider.
Fang. I should have caught that. That's on me. So it's funny because I tried to come up with like an interesting technological story that we came up with some really cool solution for a really interesting problem. But I think one of my favorite stories is not that at all. It's just me doing something pretty stupid. And so what we in pharmacists, we do a lot of programming. So that usually means we're on job sites a lot later in the process, right? So construction's already done. All speakers are in place. All the rack gears hooked up and in place, and we just come in and do the back end of the programming, and then we make sure it all works and we leave. But we had one job where we were on site where it was a huge campus, and so the job was in various states, and so there were times where we actually were going onto an active construction site, had to wear PPE, the full nine, look like actual workers, because we do not actually work. And so usually what I didn't realize is that when there's a service elevator in a job site, it doesn't act like a normal elevator. And like a normal elevator, there's a sensor that when the door's closing and you stick an arm in there like a goofball, it'll have a goofball sensor that opens the door, doesn't chop your arm off. So I didn't know that going into this job site that service elevators don't usually have those. And so I see a guy in the elevator, and we're on the first floor, and we have to get up to the 10th floor, and there's only one elevator operational on this job site. So it's either catch it while you can get it, or you're walking up 10 flights of stairs, which I didn't want to do. I'm not this jacked guy that I am portrayed in this hang glider. So I'm like jogging towards the elevator. I see the doors closing, and I start sprinting towards the elevator, and I see the guy like in the elevator with this panicked look on his face because he's just carrying his cart full of, just, I don't know what it was. It's not expensive stuff, but just stuff for some upper level. And he starts looking more panicked as I get close to the elevator. And I just hear him go, "No, don't. The elevator doesn't care about people." And so I get 75% of the way in, I'd say. But like from below my knee on my right side down was still sticking out of the elevator. And it definitely closed on my leg. Didn't break it, luckily, but I was able to still slide it in. And so I had to share this elevator, up 10 floors with this, awkwardly with this guy that he thought saved my life. But
oh my God. Is your leg okay?
Yeah, it was fine. We just sat there in silence at the really terrible moment that just took place because I just had to take the elevator. So.
I'm picturing this all in slow motion.
It felt like it was in slow motion. And even him saying what he said, it sounded like, "It doesn't care about people." And then I just feel like this metal mouth just close on my shin. And I just yanked my leg all the way in. And the best part was I was with another pharmacist who was just still now on the first floor, and he just watched all this happen. And I just like sneaked my stupid little foot in the elevator. And I made it. So I got to the 10th floor, didn't have to walk. So take that. Science.
I'm glad you're not an amputee. That would have sucked.
I know. That would be the worst possible story too. It wasn't anything meaningful. I just had to get in an elevator, so I lost my foot. That'd be too embarrassing to handle.
To get to the 10th floor.
I never appreciated that elevators care about people. until you find one that doesn't.
That was a really good way of putting it. Instead of just saying, no, it doesn't have a sensor or anything else, he says, no, it just doesn't care about humans.
It doesn't care about you.
I'm like,
that's awesome.
I like that way of thinking, but
I love it. Well, we're glad you're okay.
Absolutely.
Everyone's glad you're all right. That would have really sucked to lose a foot.
True. Or how else would I hang glide? You know?
Well, you don't really need feet for that.
Yeah, you run to take off, don't you?
Oh, I don't know. I suppose, but I'm next to you, so I could do it.
Yeah. So I can hop and you would push the rest of it, and then we get going.
Perfect. I love it. Awesome. Well, glad you're okay.
Yeah, me too.
And this hang gliding is hardcore work. Should we maybe take a trip to the pharmacy?
Sure. I think we might have a guest there.
So.
Yay!
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 And we have new logos down here. What's up with that?
Everybody, welcome Tammy from
We
Q-SYS.
keep hiring new people at this pharmacy all the time. We need to get a staff and stick to it.
So I'm just going back to your story and just picturing if your foot was just hanging out the door and like hitting every floor as it goes up.
It almost was. I keep trying to picture it from the outside, and you just see, like I said, just some stupid guy's foot just like sneakily in, just pop all the way in the elevator.
Yeah, it would have been awesome if it was on video.
Oh yeah. Or we'd be fired.
That sounds terrible. Anyways, hi everybody.
Thanks for being here, Tammy.
Guest Tammy Fuqua, who is the Q-SYS Developer Partner Manager with us today. So thank you so much for coming. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. Yeah, thanks guys.
So maybe, do you want to just give us a little background on what the Developer Partner Program is and what your role with all of these smart people is?
Absolutely. So I'm going to start with one program and then how it leads into my program, because it brings context. So in December, we launched our technology partner program, and that's where my counterpart goes out to manufacturers and says, you need a plugin made. And once they get that manufacturer partner and bring them into their program, what happens is a scope of work is done internally by our team. And then the scope of work slides over to me, and I have to pick a third-party developer to do said work for the manufacturer. And the farm is one of my developer partners, and I'm so happy to have launched my program at ISE, and you guys were one of my first partners to sign up. So yeah, so we've kept this program very I'm going to say exclusive, because the reason for this is we wanted our manufacturer partners to know that we had vetted the program with developers that went through rigorous training and testing to be in the program to begin with, because we wanted those manufacturer partners to know that we were partnering with developers that could make a plugin just like we would make it, and in some cases maybe better than we could make it. So we did that by just going through and vetting through the developers, and I would say like we have some of the greatest developer partners in the world, because this is a global program.
Awesome.
Yeah, we're definitely happy to be a part of it. Probably shouldn't have told a dumb story about me getting my foot stuck in an elevator before leading into this, but we're definitely happy to be a part of it.
I can now see manufacturers going, yeah, those guys, I'm not sure. They get their foot stuck in an elevator.
Gotta hide my farm logo. Don't pay no attention. Don't look at me.
Pay no attention to me. I'm a monster. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. So, but yeah, it's been, we just launched in, at ISE, so late January into the early part of February, and we currently have 8 developers, and yeah, you guys are right there at my top here. It's, such a pleasure to work with your team, and, we've gotten some really great plugins already made by you guys. So we just want to keep that relationship running and develop some more plugins together.
Of course. Yeah, we're excited.
I'm a big fan of plugins. They make things that already work do cooler, more neato things.
Absolutely.
That's the technical definition of a plugin.
That's the plugin is the glue that puts the manufacturer's product with our control system. So
like the talk to speech thing you have. I mean, the control system works fine without the talk-to-speech, but what a nice extra addition that it'll say, meeting room 3 is available. It's my talk-to-speech voice.
And yeah, we were so impressed by that one that we threw it into our booth at ISE. So if you took the booth to our ISE and you saw that was by our friends, The Farm. So
we actually showed it in, was it the last episode?
I think it was.
Or the
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, we showed the video that you guys took at ISE. So super cool.
We love that.
Well, and then we have InfoComm coming up here in June. So, of course, we're going to try to see how we can highlight our manufacturer partners again. So stay tuned for that.
I'll be there.
I mean, not our manufacturer partners, our developer partners. So
little column A, little column B.
Yeah. Tomato, tomato.
I'll be sure to stop by the booth. We can compare hair color products.
I was going to say.
Absolutely, right? Who knows what color it'll be by the time I get to ISE?
I don't know.
Do you do your hair yourself, or do you have somebody do it, Tammy?
I have a hairstylist. She's,
lucky.
I couldn't come up with this by myself. So, but she's awesome. I'll just go about every 6 to 8 weeks. And she just pulls out all these tubes of color and she goes, okay, which ones do you want? And I'm like, oh, hey, she's got pink and, purple and blue, okay, let's do these two this week.
Fun.
Yeah. I mean, I've been coloring my hair. Like this part here, the gray is all mine. It's not colored. So awesome. Just the top part. And I think I've been coloring my hair since I was about 19. So, I'm like no holds barred. I'm like, whatever. If I don't like it, 6 weeks later, I'll change it to something else.
Mine is like almost all washed out.
I can
it does wash out fast.
Mm-hmm. David, you do your own hair, right?
I do it myself. I started, when I first did it, I just did the very, very ends because I was nervous I wouldn't like it. And then I did a little bit more because you can cut it off, right? And then I did a little more. And then I started like bleaching so that it would look more purple. That was scary.
Yeah. That's when it gets real.
I learned I tried red at one point. I'm not, I could be a blue works and purple, but I'm not a redhead. Yeah. It takes a certain energy to pull up being a redhead, I think. A lot of admiration for redheads.
I could see that.
It's funny. I had fought putting colors in my hair for a long time because the whole corporate stigma of like, oh, don't go too crazy. And I was working, this was about 5-6 years ago. I was working for I'm gonna just out it. I was working at Epson and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna put one little strand of purple, and my hair was longer, by the way. And then, before I knew it, the little strand of purple turned into like half my head purple. And one of my directors walked up to me and she's like, oh, I just love your hair. Just don't color it blue. And I was like, okay.
Purple's okay, but blue isn't?
She didn't give a reason. So I just said, well, as long as I don't do blue, then I just won't color my hair blue. So I just continued it. And then, I'll continue the story here since I'm on a roll. I went to the next job. And when I interviewed for that job, I had my hair pulled back so that you couldn't see the purple. And then I got the job and the VP comes out to travel with me and I take my hair down because I said, well, shoot, I've got the job now. What do I care? And he was like, we're just sitting in the car and he's like, have I ever showed you a picture of my wife? And I'm like, no. And like, she has this bright orangey red hair. And nice. I think that was his way of saying like, I'm cool with it, but I just can't officially say I'm cool with it. So, yeah.
I really want to do bright green. I think bright green would look amazing, but I use a green screen. I think it would be invisible.
Oh, it would be. Yeah.
It just look like bald David.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Well, you could be like green and then you just like flip it and your head would be gone and then flip it back and your head would be come back.
That's not a terrible idea. I kind of like this idea.
I love it.
With it. But green hair looks so cool.
Or do the top part a color and then the green underneath. So then that way, when you do flip it over and it's green, that's when your head disappears. But then when you come back, it's like purple and you can see your hair. I don't know.
I like it.
Like a mullet, a green mullet.
All right, David, you got 2 weeks to pull this off.
So I'm waiting.
Get to it.
I'm on it.
Be like, curse you, Tammy, for your ideas.
Right.
But I feel bad because I feel like I've diverted this conversation. I love talking about hair color, but I think our viewers might want to know more about Q-SYS.
Oh, Oh yeah, probably. What else would you like to
am I
know?
being a party pooper?
No.
Okay.
Jeez, David.
All
I
right,
want to learn more about Q-SYS.
All right.
Well, I can tell you that I think, gosh, I hope we already announced this, otherwise I'll feel really stupid. But we have an activate coming up in April. So that's where we kind of, talk about new things and all that. So I can always tell you to be on the lookout for, registration for that. So that's the thing for Q-SYS that's coming up. And then, the next thing, InfoComm, is we're just kind of planning out. I'm kind of hoping they do something similar to what they did at ISE, but I have no idea yet what they're going to be doing. Because ISE was kind of like a fun booth with all the different, different rooms that showcase different things. And we also got nominated for best booth for InfoComms or ISE. So
that's a big show.
It's a huge show.
Oh, wow.
Was I super naive to think like, oh, it's going to be just like InfoComm. And then I got there and I was like, oh my gosh, it's like InfoComm on steroids.
Mm-hmm.
That's what everyone's been saying.
It is big and massive and lots of people. So yeah.
I mean, the booth at InfoComm for last year with QSC, I'm sure it didn't have like the full tour, but it did have a really cool immersive conference room setup. That was really impressive. And I think you can just build out that again, and you can just add more features. I think it'd be just as impressive, if not more so,
Yeah. And that's pretty much what ISE was like. If you take that concept of that one room and made it into 5 different rooms, that's what it was for cool. ISE. So yeah, well, so fingers crossed we have some, fun, innovative, thing coming for InfoComm.
I'm looking forward to it.
I have faith. You guys have a good marketing team.
We do have a great marketing team. Yeah. They work very hard.
Can you dye your hair blue though?
No one said I couldn't, and it is kind of blue now. So,
and that's the logo.
You could just say it's aqua, and then what are they gonna say?
Yeah. Oh, there goes my dog. Sorry. The dog entered the pharmacy now too. What I should do is like the blue of the logo with some of that same like plumish purple and put that in my hair.
Yeah,
I love it.
Then they won't be able to say anything after that.
Exactly. You're just repping the brand.
Exactly.
Really into it.
I know. I think, I'm sorry. I know we're going back to hair color again, but I think that was like,
it was inevitable.
Right. That was like one of the questions I was asked a lot, like, oh, your bosses let you dye your hair. And I'm like, in sales, it was my calling card. I'm not really in sales anymore, but when I was in sales, you'd go to like a big show and then you come home and you start calling out to people and you'd talk to them and they'd be like, not remembering you at all. Right. And then you go, well, that's the one with the purple hair. And they're like, oh, yeah.
Nice.
So
marketing.
I would say that would be my recommendation to any salesperson in the industry. Dye your hair crazy color and people will remember you right away.
I'm just going to get a face tattoo, I think. I'm just going to get the Mike Tyson thing right here.
Nice.
Then you could say, I was the guy with the big tattoo on my face. And they'd go, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Delete my number. Let's not talk ever again. Leave me alone.
Just like a little teardrop.
Yeah. Why are you at my front door? Let's escalate quickly.
I want to get a full face tattoo of Brad Pitt's face.
Wow.
Did you just see the guy I think it was England, who did the full like 6-pack tattoo?
That's hilarious.
No.
Yeah, he said that he always wanted a 6-pack. So, I mean, and this is real. It was not fake.
And he just does not want to do sit-ups.
No. So, like, he lifted up his shirt and it's like, what? I mean, it really looked like it. But it was like, okay. But
That's
now I have to send you guys that picture of the guy with the 6-pack tattoo.
Eventually he is going to get an actual 6-pack, but the lines are going to be off by like 2 inches. So
be a 12-pack.
Exactly.
Well, I just like to revisit him like 50 years from now when like the tattoo is like not in the shape of a 6-pack anymore. And it's like, just like weird flabby skin.
Just 6 little U shapes.
Oh my gosh.
Well, we went way off from original stuff here.
I tried to bring us back.
That's what we do.
You did your best.
Oh, you did your best to keep us on track, but we were just unruly.
That's okay.
Exactly.
It's okay. This is what happens.
I've been told we're allowed to have fun on this show.
What? Oh,
just a little bit though, not too much.
Wow, seems to be a shock to Kelly and Fang, but okay. Well, and when you bring on guests with strange color hair, everything's off the table.
That's true.
I mean, it was downhill once that weird eye-shaped face man was opening, and I lost all men.
That was the strangest looking thing ever, and
it's real.
Yeah, totally intrigued. I was like,
I hope it's at InfoComm.
What the heck?
Yeah, it's you.
Imagine
how much it costs.
Yeah, right.
If you guys find that at InfoComm, you must text me, Tammy. Go to
Definitely.
Absolutely.
I'm
imagining a scenario in which they're in a pitch meeting. And they're like, okay, well, so we're gonna make it head shaped, right? And the guy's like, no, of course not.
Why would we do
talking
that?
about?
Why should we make it look human?
No, we should make it lunchbox shaped.
We have this perfect, terrible Lego right here. What are you talking about?
Love it.
Sure.
So are we ready for our next segment?
The wholesome moment?
Yes. Tammy, please hang around backstage. We want to chat with you after the show.
Okay.
And
bye,
everyone
guys.
say goodbye to us. And we're going to go back to our farm here. And this is attempt 2 at a new segment that we call Wholesome. We should need some happy music here. Wholesome Moment. Like, do, 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 do.
I'm stuck on it being attempt 2.
Attempt, yeah.
As opposed to the next one. Why is it called attempt 2, David?
Our first Wholesome Moment, you have to watch episode 3 in the archives to see what happened. We need to clip that and put that on like TikTok because that was incredible. Oh yeah. But it turned out to be more of a traumatic moment than a wholesome moment.
PTSD.
That's why I'm excited for this one.
So
I feel like it's gonna be I saw a cute baby and then it punched me in the face.
No, this is going. Okay, well, here we go. We have a little baby bunny eating a strawberry, and he's got a little yellow duck next to him, and they're best friends.
I love it.
Is this cute?
Perfect.
How cute is this?
Wholesome.
Okay.
Perfect timing for the holiday too. Nicely done.
Okay, so this counts as a wholesome moment.
Unless he bites you and you get rabies.
Oh, no.
All right.
No, well. I checked and I asked. They never bite anyone, and they never age. They stay little bunny and little duck forever, and they have wonderful adventures, and they're always happy.
Oh, and they're in a loop.
Yeah, no, no. So, are we good?
That is wholesome. I do want to pick them both up and squeeze them.
I know they're so good. The little bunny likes the strawberry. Okay.
Do you also find it very interesting that they can turn in perfect circles?
They what?
They do, yeah.
When they go number 2, it's in a perfect bowl.
I watched my friend's rabbit one time, and we put it out in the backyard in like this little playpen, and put it to bed. Came back in the morning. There a bunch of it just looked like someone took a bowl of Cocoa Puffs and just poured it out in a rabbit's cage. I'm like, why did someone do that to all the Cocoa Puffs? Why are there Cocoa Puffs on the ground? And my dad had to explain to me, not every animal poops the same way. I was like, oh, okay. Well, there you go.
I'm also quite glad you didn't snack on them.
Don't think I didn't think about it.
God.
I was
forbidden Cocoa Puffs.
I was not the most discerning child back then, so my dad had to grab me by the back of that shirt, like, calm down. But yeah.
I love it.
So I feel better job. Now. Okay.
Yes, you did great.
So we're ready to wrap up the show with our favorite segment. Final thoughts from Kelly?
Yes,
yeah.
I am ready.
Anything? I feel like we forgot a segment, but no, we're good.
We're good. All right. There we go. All right. So I'm taking a different approach today, and this is my final thought for the week. Okay. Before you criticize someone, you should walk a mile in their shoes. That way, when you criticize them, you're a mile away from them and you have their shoes. Thank you, everyone. I hope you have a wonderful week.
Yay.